Darn. Well, we'll have to quit character creation, lose all progress. Darn. Let's go down to, yeah, you don't want on Dynamis. What about Crystal? Maybe they got one. Crystal's congested too? Get out of town. Mateus, huh? We'll just load this guy in, because that's my existing guy. Crystal is also congested! Oh no! Yeah, looks like you're stuck on Dynamis now, losers. It's pretty funny, actually. Pretty funny. Pretty funny. Oops. Didn't want that. All right. Anyway. Arcanist. There we go. I've selected Meduin as my starting world. Right? So here's the thing if you start on Dynamis. The reason why you see above my head in yellow XP bonuses are currently being granted to new players is because Dynamis is the newest of the data centers and it is kind of empty. As a result, they are giving out serious XP bonuses. Oh, it's already taken? We'll begin a new game with this character. Now, it's going to tell you it's congested literally every single day of the remainder of the game's life. Don't worry about it. It will tell you this every single day. Yeah, like every day. It's been like this since the beginning of Endwalker. There you go. Oh, thanks for the raid streaming our way. I appreciate it. Alright, so we're going to just skip this. By the way, if you want to skip it, hit circle and go to skip. Alright, I'm now freaked out by the way the interface looks because it's not my interface. Oh my god. This is a nightmare. Welcome to Limsa, bustling city-state. Doesn't really matter. Please select what control scheme you want to use. You're playing with a gamepad, right? Pick gamepad. Also, read that. It's really important. Okay? Also, here's something you can read. If for some reason you have trouble with a menu, right? You can click in on the right stick. Oh, not on this one, though. Oh, there it is. No, definitely never. So, oh, it's gone. I have 20 messages. Ooh, I gotta change my controls on this. 1 second. My personal controls are fucky. There we go. Oh my god, that is a nightmare. Oh, this is the worst ever. Alright. So, your basic controls. Moving with the left stick. Jumping with the triangle. Yes? Hit X or A to examine something. This is called tab targeting. The long and short of it is that if I hit tab, it would target everything within a cone in front of me. Right? Yeah, this is fake Limsa Luminsa, right? So, if we go into... If I hit start and go to user macros, it has a bunch of nonsense user macros that no one gives a shit about. Right? We'll deal with the 99 on the right analog stick shortly. So you can see that this UI looks terrible. You can also see that there's the road to 90, which is for going to Dynamis, right? That dramatically increases experience. Like, dramatically. It's crazy. All right, so if you want to hit buttons, why is there no one? This is an instance because you're a new player. If you want to hit buttons, you would hit left trigger, and it will pull up the 8 buttons on the left. They then associate with the 4 face buttons and the 4 D-pad buttons. If you hit right trigger, you'll bring up the 8 on the right. This is how you're going to be using the majority of your buttons. Right? If you want to move one of those buttons, like for example, we have Ruin down here, which I keep on square because I'm not a freak. You can hold the right trigger and hit select, or your select equivalent. Once you're in the edit hotbar, you click on the button you want and click on the place you want it to go. And that's it. If you hold down R1, you can see that you actually have 8 hotbars and can switch between them as such. Your 8th hotbar has all your social shit. You're probably going to get rid of most of these. But that's for later. For now, we'll talk to this guy. But if any goddamn menu appears on your screen, hit your select button. And your hand will shoot all over. For example, here's the goddamn chat window down here. Here's the ability to move around on the minimap, such as making the minimap smaller, which I would highly recommend you do. Right? Yeah, the finger. See the little finger showing around? That means you're going to click on something, shock rates. Anyway, initiating quests. Talk to a dude. You'll initiate a quest. Also, if you can't read this shit, click in on the right stick. It'll make it bigger. If you think the menu's too big, click on it enough times and it'll get small. I love this feature. This feature did not exist when I started playing the game. Anyway, we're gonna cycle through some of these basic tutorial tests. By the way, making that thing bigger, it will also work on these, but not in the tutorial for some asinine reason. The dialogue boxes. So in your baby tutorial area, it's going to basically just walk you through the most basics of the basics in terms of how to actually function throughout the goddamn thing, right? So for example, I clicked on the select button and then hit back with circle to turn that off. Up on the upper left, you can see your current main scenario quest. Doing that, like clicking the select button, will put your little hand up there, then you click it, and it'll show you where it is on the map. If you use the right analog stick on your map, you'll move your map. If you move your body while on the map will become somewhat transparent. And then you regain full analog control. You just hit square again in order to get it back. And if you want to get rid of your map, just turn it off with square. It's a good map. You want to move up and down, hold L1 and move up and down. If you want to run forever without using your hands like a disgusting meat person, start running and tap L1. You're going to use that one a lot. You're going to use that auto run shit a lot, let me tell you. If you want to sit down, click left on the stick. That's purely visual, doesn't do anything. If you want to take your gun out, which is kind of weird that this is a hidden command, hold L1 and tap R1. If you want to put your gun away, hold L1 and tap R1. It's weird. That's a book? That's a gun. That's a gun. All right. Also, of importance, do you want to get rid of every single part of your interface for funsies? Hold L1, tap select. Bring it back with hold L1, tap select. Did you want to take a screenshot? Hold L1, hit start. Right? Easy. Let's just go ahead to this green thing on the map. Talk to Batteron. Now I'm gonna skip all these because they're not really important to what we're talking about today. You know. That concludes the tutorial. You've taken your first steps. Oh, wow. We got a level right away. So, read every single one of these, by the way. Every time any of these ever come up, just read them. Just fucking read them. Okay? It's important. Main scenario quests. This is really important. This one's the most important. If you see a quest that has an exclamation point, but it's got all this fire and shit around it, yeah, that's the important shit. Scenario guide will also point your way to that important shit. But regardless, first things first, let's go to user macros. And let's make a macro on number 99, which is, I believe it's just sprint. Oh, what's the actual command for sprint? Does anybody remember it? I can't even remember. Is it AC? Oh, it's AC sprint, right. AC for action, and then you use quotations, sprint. Can't be used here. Oh, we're still in the, the zone. Of course. We're still trapped in the fake Limsa Lominsa. Right, the tutorial dimension. Main menu. Grants quick and easy access. So, these are showing off the main menu for PC users or mouse and keyboard users. You don't need that. Map will show you stuff, but I showed you that map. Over on the right, you see close to home. It's got different tasks. Hit select a couple times. You'll end up there. Click on it with X. It'll show you this. Then you can go to map. And you go to different objectives. It'll show you it on the map. Use this to find things. Oh, I forgot. This tutorial is actually really disorienting after you beat the game. It's really disorienting. Because you can't just explore and complete the quests as you would normally do so. You have to actually do all the quests in the vicinity. It wants you to do them in a sequence. On some quests, you'll encounter things to interact with. So this is something that's going to happen Don't worry about sanctuaries. What sanctuaries means is that the moon in the bottom right corner underneath the XP bar, that means you're getting rested XP. Anyway, you select these with A or X and click on them when you're close. That's it. Easy to do. What's rested XP? Imo read. Rested XP will show up as a little extra bar on your XP bar. It gives you 50% XP while you have the rested XP. See, now as you can see, we're actually in real Limsa Lominsa. As you can see, all the nightmare shitheads running around, being freaks. All the freaks are here. So, we're close enough that we can probably actually start teaching things that matter. Right? So this is a visual nightmare. I hate this. I hate what I'm looking at. Right? I think it looks like crap. The amount of names is creating just a soup of text. I don't like it. Right? I just learned return off that, which, long story short, is just return to the last aetheryte, which is your teleport location. If you have more teleport locations, you'll be able to teleport, but we don't have that yet. Don't worry about it. Also, I should be able to sprint now. So basically what I did by having execute macro 99 on the right analog stick, as well as what do you call it? The /AC space open quote sprint end quote allows me to sprint on command at all times by clicking in the right stick. Now sprint does have a cooldown, it's about a minute, but that'll be very useful to you. So you look at all this nightmare and you're like, I would like to clean up this nightmare, please. Well, first of all, you're going to hit start, and you're going to see a bunch of shit, and it's going to be horribly intimidating and nightmarish, and you're going to vomit. Luckily, a shit ton of them are grayed out, so you can't use them. So I'm going to tell you right now, when you start the game, ignore all of it until you have to. Journal's important. Going to look at your character matters. But yeah, there's a lot of soup here. Don't worry about it, okay? Well, what you might want to go down is to character configuration. And here's where we're going to get that good stuff. So first up, you might be like, well, what if I don't want camera-based movement? What if I want standard character-based movement? Okay, well, let's change that. Okay, so what we've done now is we rotate our camera around the guy. And we can back up like so, and you turn like this. Not only does it look like shit when you're turning, but also, if you're standing in like a puddle of damage and you want to turn around and run, you have to do this. Get rid of that. You don't want that. You want legacy type. So that if you're standing in damage, you can go, oh, I would like to not stand in the damage anymore. That's it. Legacy is default, guys. Isn't it? Anyway. Second of which, see this? Cutscene skipping? Skip playback of all of these. What this means is that when you go into a dungeon for the 400th time, you won't do the big flyby every time. This is how people figure out whether or not new people are entering into an instance. So turn that shit off. This looks complicated. I'm not going to screw with it. Here's something. Camera speed on stick. Turn that up, dude. Now, you can turn it up to your own personal preference. I don't even remember what I have it set to. But the default of 33 is not fast enough. It is not fast enough. You need to kick that up to something. It's real slow. This is a new feature specifically for Dawn Trail. I'd recommend turning it on. When you walk up to, you know, let's, you know, we're doing Limsa right now. So this will be great. This will work really well. So if, for example, there were a shit ton of people standing around SWAT Blade here, we can turn this on and they would all vaporize. And you would actually be able to see SWAT Blade, which would be pretty useful. Right? I would recommend turning that on. Look at target when speaking. That's on by default. You don't need that. Inventory interface. All right, so hit start, go to inventory. This is what your inventory starts to look like when you start the game. Most people's inventory, you'll notice, does not look like this. Okay? Almost nobody does. It's not enough. All right? What most people have is either expanded or open all. Personally, I think open all is a little much. I'm of the opinion that expanded is the best one. That's just my opinion. 2 tabs. I think it works really well, honestly. But hey, to your own personal preference. I think that storing all newly obtained items in the last open inventory slot is actually a really good option. So what's going to happen is you have your inventory where all your items go, and then you have what's called your armory chest. Now the armory chest is basically where you keep all your equipment. So anything that got equipped will go in here. If you're playing a dungeon and you get new equipment and that option is not clicked, it'll just go into your armory chest. However, it's going to actually be fairly difficult to sort that through. So I would personally recommend that you store all new ones in the last inventory slot. So when you get an item, you can go into your inventory and go, oh, look, I got a ring. Oh, I got a sword. Whatever. Right? That's my personal opinion. Fill tabs in order, display these. These are all fine. UI settings. Well, these are fun, aren't they? So these are all fairly simple, right? Toggle is interesting. The one I'm thinking of is 2 up. Really? Oh, store all the newly crafted items in your inventory. You're right. You're right. Ignore me. Ignore me. I'm completely wrong. That whole thing was completely wrong. You actually want this option. Wait, no, I want this. No. Wait. What is the good option here? Yeah, no, you want these off. Yeah, you want these off. My mistake. My mistake. Anyway. You don't want them off? I mean, it's personal preference. Right? Everything I'm showing today is my personal preference. But some of these features are, like, relatively unknown. So, like, some people don't know about what's called item help. So, item help in a lot of cases is on potion. If I were to hit L2, I would see the effects of a high quality version of that potion. Or I could hit R2 to hide it. Right. All right. Let's continue. Help toggling, yeah. Display action help. And what does that do? What does display action help do? Oh, it's the same exact thing, but for actions. So, for example, if I was on here, or I moused over this, it would show summon carbuncle. Alright. Continuing. Display pop-up help? Sure. 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 I don't care for these. That's fine. Instant portraits are fun. Leave those on. HUD. Okay. Let's see. Personally, I like nearly all of these the way they are. I hide the duty list during duties because you don't actually need to see your objectives when you're doing like a raid, because the raid's going to be kill the guy. It's going to be kill, please. Now you could have your clock type set to local time. You might actually want it to have Eorzean time also, if you ever plan to craft anything ever. You're probably not going to need your current world name. You are going to want your limit gauge, which I struggle to find on the screen. I guess it's not there. This is a fun one that you're not going to deal with until much later in the game. But the main scenario guide, the thing directly above my head that says close to home, eventually you will finish all the main scenario content. And if you do, it will say to be continued. And just sit there forever. So you should probably hide this when all quests are complete. Display only the detrimental effects. So what this is that basically when you fight an enemy, you can often see the effects that other people, like the debuffs that go on them. If you click on this, it'll be easier and, in fact, only able to see your own debuffs. It can be useful sometimes, but I would not recommend it. Enemy list, enmity list, you definitely want. Display focus target, don't worry about that. Don't worry about any of this crystalline conflict nonsense. Party list. So, full name seems like overkill, honestly. I actually do surname abbreviated, but initials is fine. You definitely want your alliance lists. Those are important. What about this one? What about display name settings? Right? Do you want to see your own name above your head at all times? You might not want to. That might actually, in fact, seem completely stupid. You might want to. You might be like Gil and are actually stupid. But if you want to turn it off, you can. Right? What's much more important, is others. Put party members' names to show up during battle. Alliance members to show up when targeted. And other PCs to show up when targeted. It will turn Limsa into this actually readable location. You can hit left and right to select people, and their names will show up at the time. Like it's Tweakin' Devil. But other than that, you'll actually be able to see things. Now, I believe these are minions that keep showing up. So I guess we're going to have to go and change the thing for minions. Friends, always. NPC, where we got? Where's minions at? Pet display. There we go. Never. 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 Oh, that's not the minions either. Where are the minions at? NPCs. Minions, here we go. Never. There we go. Now it's all clean. Now it doesn't look like a bunch of freak-ass MMO losers. It looks like the NPCs have gone mad. Now you could set it to target, as Cade points out. But you know. So, as you go through the areas, you're going to see guys that have this icon above their head. Now, it's currently red because I'm not high enough level. If I was a high enough level, which I believe is 10, 60, oh, that's the answers on Lock Quest. Anything with a plus symbol will unlock a new mechanic in the game. So this guy and her will give XP or maybe a shop. Anything with a blue marker, such as, or plus sign, that's dancer unlock, that's sage unlock, that's fishing unlock, etc. Right? So for now, we're going to go outside and we're going to learn about actually targeting. So, there's a lot of weird shit about how you actually target things in this game that is not immediately apparent. One of the things that the game teaches you is that you can look at something, hit A, and then walk up to it and hit A again. And then you'll start smacking it with a book. I don't know anyone who attacks anything like this. Ever. Like, literally ever. I don't know how anyone does that. What you're gonna usually do is you're going to hit A to select it. And as you can see, it's got kind of a cone where it wants to select this one. But if I get past it, it's going to select these. The reason I don't have the summon out is because I haven't got to that. Right? Now, there is a series of options for this. And that series of options is one that I particularly like. Where is it, though? Is it in hotbar? No, it's the... Oh, my God. It's the option for targeting. Oh, I'll never find it. Regardless. Is it target settings? Yeah, where's that at?